Hi, I'm Plami, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you guys all around the world. Thank you for all your support throughout this year, I really appreciate it. And in this episode of Rate the K, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different that I do every year for New Year's. That being sharing my top K-pop songs of the year. And since we are 2021, about to get into 2022, I'm gonna be sharing my top 21 K-pop songs. And I gotta tell you guys, it was really tough to pick out the songs that are featured in the list this year. Because unlike in 2019 or 2020, this year, while there were still plenty of really good songs, the songs are not as overwhelmingly better than the rest as they have been the years prior. Like, for example, in 2020, in my list for the songs in 2020, pretty much every single song in that list was 9 out of 10 and above, I would say. But this year, for the list, a lot of the songs are actually closer to an 8 or a 9 out of 10. And very few, not even all of the top 10 songs on this list are all 10s out of 10. Which is also why it was very hard, and I was even contemplating on whether I should make the list longer than 21 songs, because there are so many songs that fit in the 8 or 9 out of 10 range that I just couldn't really fit all of them into this list. Which is why, as you'll see as we get to the top spots, when I share my honorable mentions, you'll see how many there actually are. But anyway, I'd say enough about me explaining to you about this list. Let's just get into it. And the first song, being number 21, is gonna be Omega X's Vamos. So the reason why I decided to pick out this song for this list is because I really like what the group Omega X is doing, and how it's a kind of like what Super M is for SM boy groups, but instead it's for like Nugu groups that are barely known or disbanded at this point, essentially giving these groups a second chance. And it seems like it's working. But on top of everything, I just really enjoyed the song Vamos when it was released, because for those of you who don't know, there was a trailer for the group's debut that featured the song Vamos, and even the chorus of the song, the instrumental chorus of the song, was featured in that trailer. So when we got into the actual song, I was actually worried whether I was gonna like the song or not, because whenever I see a trailer or a teaser in which I hear the best part of the song, it's usually the song does end up being underwhelming to me, because, as I said, I listened to the best part of the song in the teaser. But in the case of this song, they still managed to surpass what they showed to me in that debut trailer for the group. So I feel like the song deserves the spot here. It's a really good song, it's a hype song, and it managed to surpass any possible expectations I had for it, which is why I think it deserves the spot. For number 20, we're gonna have something that I wasn't exactly sure whether I even wanted to put in this list, because I don't really think it was as overwhelmingly better than previous releases of theirs as I was hoping it was going to be. But still, at number 20, we have G-Idol's Hua. So this song, as I said, it's not as overwhelmingly better than some of their other releases. It's good, don't get me wrong. I really like it. It's a song with a lot of depth, in my opinion, and it is a really good song, like it feels high quality. But there's just a certain replayability factor that kinda made me contemplate about whether I wanted to add it to this list, because at the end of the day, this list is about not only about the songs that I think are the best, but also the songs that I personally have enjoyed the most, have listened to the most, that have the most replayability, and all those different criterias. And specifically for the replayability, I feel like this song lacks, because I enjoyed when I reacted to it, I've enjoyed it whenever I've listened to it, but I've just never had an urge to replay it as much as other songs of theirs. So there was that lack in this song. And also the fact that they haven't come back since this release, if I remember correctly, and also the fact that now Soojin is gone from the group. It's a little bit bittersweet, and I just wanted to kind of commemorate the last song of G-Idol as a one group into this list. But still, I thought it was a really good song. So for number 19, we're gonna have Monster X's Rush Hour. This one was a little bit of a late addition because, again, similarly to the G-Idol case, I don't really think this song ended up being as high for me as other Monster X releases like Alligator or Fantasia or Follow. Those songs, I've listened so much to them. I've replayed them so many times. For Rush Hour, the reason why I added it is because I guess the last like two releases of Monster X, the Korean releases, Gambler and I don't remember the name of the other song, but the last two Korean releases of Monster X, while not necessarily bad again, weren't my favorite, weren't the most replayable, weren't the most fun and entertaining to listen to. So the fact that this one actually manages to be closer to Fantasia or Follow than to those two songs, I feel like it deserved it, because it is genuinely a really, really good song in my opinion. And I think maybe there's even one member that is missing in the song, but I'm not exactly sure about that. But I just really enjoyed this one. It had the hype that I was missing from the previous two releases, even though one of those I actually liked, the one that is the earlier one, not Gambler, the other one. But yeah, it was a good song. It's just that the main reason why I added it here is because it's been a little bit since I've really enjoyed a Monster X track. So I think it deserved the spotlight because of that. At number 18, we have Gravity's My Turn. So this song, I did not expect it to sound the way it did. It was a really, really good song. And even when Gravity debuted, I never thought that they were gonna go in this direction. They seemed to start off with like a more, I don't know, more innocent feel to their music. It was still like fast-paced and catchy and rap-heavy, but it seemed a little bit more innocent. Essentially kind of what TXT was to BTS. But they seem to have been developing their sound a little bit more, and are leaning more towards what Monster X sound is, while still keeping it original. But for this release, for whatever reason, they decided to swerve completely into the territory of a different group entirely, that being P1 Harmony, because this song sounds very similar, or at least the concept behind the songs feels very similar to P1 Harmony's debut song Siren. And that is kind of the biggest reason why I enjoy this song. Like, it's a good song, of course, but I did not expect to hear a concept in the same song, in the same concept, from a completely different group. And they nailed it, honestly. It was really good, debatably better than P1 Harmony's Siren, because I feel like I've listened to this song more than I did for that one. But yeah, it was a really good song, and song afterwards they released, their more recent one, just didn't really hit as hard, so that's why I've decided to add this one. I think they deserve to be commemorated because they're definitely a group I'm keeping my eye on, but it just seems like not every single one of their release is as much of a hit for me as I wish it is. At number 17, we're gonna have something that really surprised me and came out of nowhere. Because I never in a million years expected that I would add this group to this list, but it happened. That being Signature and their song Boyfriend.
So I call you my boyfriend, boyfriend. Yeah, I call you my boyfriend, boyfriend. 세상 모두가 욕해, 욕해. 그래도 바보같이 널 원해. Boyfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah, that song that I reacted to very recently really kind of blew me away. I haven't been a big fan of Signature. Their music hasn't been bad, but it very clearly was not intended for me and my style of K-pop music, the style that I enjoy listening to the most. It seemed to be more tailored towards people who like more quirky or cutesy K-pop, which I don't mind that kind of K-pop, but it's not my primary thing, you know. But this song decided to be a little bit more chill and calm, and it really worked. Like, it's one of the best cutesy chill songs that I've ever listened to. It's so damn good. And it's an awesome song about being in a relationship and everything, and I like that. It really makes me feel all fuzzy inside. I love it. It's a great song in my opinion. There's literally no flaw in this song. There's no part of it that feels wrong or misplaced. Like, genuinely, this song is a 10 out of 10. The only reason why this song is not up higher is because there's just so many good songs that I had a hard time deciding where to put a lot of them. This one could have been easily higher. But yeah, there's been a lot of songs, good songs this year, and it's just been very hard for me to decide which song to put before which. And since Signature is a group that doesn't hit hard for me frequently, I was just a little wary to put it a little bit higher. I still think it's a really good song and easily could have been a top 10. At number 16, we're gonna have our first soloist release on this list, that being Kang Daniel's Paranoia. And this one, I mean, Kang Daniel, I've reacted to quite a few of his releases, but I was only kind of mildly into his music. I know how popular he is and how much people love his music, but like it tends to happen with a lot of popular stuff, I've just been a little bit lukewarm towards his music. But this song was something else. And I feel like even during the reaction, it didn't really latch onto me. But it wasn't until I started listening to it in my free time that it actually stuck with me, and I realized how good of a song it is, because I played the shit out of this song afterwards. I've listened to it so many times. It's so catchy, it's so entertaining, it's so hard-hitting. It's literally everything that I like. Why did I not like it in first listen? That is, if I remember correctly how I felt about it in the reaction. I don't know. But it is a really, really good song, and personally my favorite song of his. And I really wish that at some point in the future he's gonna release something just as good as this, because if I remember correctly, the song that he released after this that I reacted to didn't manage to grab me as much. Or maybe it was opposite. I don't know. I've reacted to like actually not even 500 songs. I've done 500 plus episodes of Rate the K, so I've reacted to probably thousands of songs. There's no way I can remember every single one of them. So yeah, you're gonna excuse my lack of memory for that one. At number 15, we're gonna have another soloist release, that being the overly hated ex-Stray Kids member Woojin with his song Still Dream.
소리창 너에게 달려 지금 추락한다
And I honestly did not expect his music to actually be as good as it was. Not because I think he's a bad musician or anything, that's not the reason, but rather because he's a vocalist. And obviously his music was always gonna be very vocal heavy. So the fact that it still managed to be very catchy and very hard hitting, like, it's rare for me, for vocalists to really manage to entertain me with their music. Because a lot of the time, vocalists tend to go for more slow and ballady kind of songs, but Woojin seems to have not gone for that, which I'm actually glad, because I want to like his music. I miss him being part of Stray Kids. I like Stray Kids when he was there, and I like them still now, but I still miss him. And I'm glad that I can still enjoy his music even when he's not involved with Stray Kids. And I can't wait to hear more of his music and even his B-sides, because I think there are some B-sides to his music. I just haven't had the time to react to it. But yeah, I really like this song also because the vibe that this song gives off is very reminiscent of the music in one of my favorite game franchises, that being Life is Strange. Those songs are so emotional and so awesome, and I feel like this song, Still Dream, easily could have been in a Life is Strange game. It could have. Just maybe change it obviously to English and it would fit right in. If you don't believe me, check out some Life is Strange music and you'll see the obvious similarity between that. So that is probably the biggest reason why his music has actually vibed with me so well. But yeah, I really liked it. And if you let your hate for him cloud your judgment of his music, I mean, just listen to his music. It's so good, dude. You shouldn't let your hate or dislike for Woojin and the manufactured online rumors prevent you from enjoying his music. At number 14, we're gonna have what I think is a pretty obvious choice for a song for this list. Because, come on, this is gonna be in everybody's top list for this year's. That being Brave Girls' Chi Mat Baram. Obviously, if Rolling was released this year, I would have added that song to the list, and maybe if I ever go back and make a list for the top K-pop songs of 2017, I would add that song to that. But as it stands, I went with the second best thing, which in this case, it's still fucking awesome. It was a really great song. Chi Mat Baram was the best possible song they could have come out with after the success of Rolling this year. It still retains similarity in the vibe that it gives off to Rolling, but it still manages to be completely new and feel refreshing and summery, and I really liked it. The vocals were amazing, the party energy, I loved it. It was a really great song. I really enjoyed it. And even their follow-up song, which I don't remember the name of the song, I think it's called After We Ride or something, which felt more colder, for lack of a better term. Like I said in my reaction to that song, this song, Chi Mat Baram, feels like the day of the summer kind of song, while the more recent song, After We Ride, felt like the night version of this song. And I enjoyed both of them, but the reason why I put this one over After We Ride is because this one just felt a little bit more reminiscent of Rollin', and I kind of obviously wanted to put that song, so this is kind of the only way I could have done that. But yeah, I still enjoyed it, and I can't wait to hear more music from Brave Girls, because they've been awesome. At number 13, we're gonna have a song that was requested for a reaction to me by my good friend Yuri, so big thanks to him for helping me find out about the existence of this song and this artist, that being Gaho and his song Right Now. fair to say that Gaho might be the most interesting vocalist that I listen to nowadays, because even though I like plenty of solo vocalist artists like Chungha, I like IU, I like Woojin, and in this case Gaho, I feel like Gaho, he's the most kind of like mainstream style of vocalist with a very mainstream kind of vocal, but he really makes his song interesting by having interesting inflection. Like, if you've seen my reactions on the channel, you know that I'm not really the biggest fan of vocals in K-pop. I'm more of a rap fan. I enjoy rap heavy songs much more. And in general, my biases in the groups tend to be the rap members, although that is not always the case. It's just that for vocals, it takes more for me to enjoy them. It takes for them to be a little bit more interesting and not just generic, so to speak. And Gaho manages to do that. He has a very unique voice, in my opinion. Well, somewhat unique, but he has an interesting voice that stands out and very interesting inflections to his song. Like, the reason why I like this song right now so much is because of that specific part where he goes, "right now." Like, the way he says it, it's really catchy and it's really memorable. And I've listened to other songs his, and he already intrigued me in those songs as well. But it's this song that has made me a fan of his, and I'm even going to be reacting to his most recent album, I think it is. There's like quite a lot of songs, and a lot of them seem to have music videos, so you can definitely expect a reaction to that in the next few days or so. But yeah, I really enjoy him, and he's definitely quickly climbed up my list of favorite soloists. At number 12, we're gonna have my good friend Yuri's favorite group, or one of his favorite groups, MCND, and their song Crush. I love this song. It's amazing. It's catchy, it's rap heavy, and it's funky just in the right way that was needed for MCND, because until this point, I feel like MCND was just kind of like not quite there with their music. Like, it was catchy and it was rap heavy and it was appealing to me, but it wasn't until this song and this album as a whole that I really completely fell in love with this group. And I love every single one of their songs at this point, honestly. I haven't reacted to or checked out and listened to every single one of their songs, but I'll do that at some point in the future if you're interested. But I really enjoy this song, and I want to thank my good friend Yuri for recommending me to react to them in the first place when they first released their first song, Top Gang. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a fan of MCND probably. Or at least it would have taken much more time for me to get into them. But this was a really good release, really funky, really catchy, really playful, and it just completed them, in my opinion, in a way that they weren't complete before. At number 11, we're gonna have Victon's What I Said. And yeah, this one, it was a sure choice that I was gonna be adding a Victon song to this list, because they've really climbed up my favorite group list very quickly this year. Their last album in which they released What I Said, I love quite a lot of those songs, if I remember correctly. Like, the album, even if I haven't really listened to any of the songs from the album outside of Flip a Coin, I think the album had an air of quality that I didn't expect to hear from this group. And the song itself, What I Said, is not the typical kind of rap heavy and hard hitting song that I usually love, but it feels like it's a little bit more chill, like it's a little bit more, it holds back a little bit more, which makes it better whenever it really hits hard. And the slower pace of it, while still being a very hard-hitting song, really worked for me because it makes it stand out so much. Like it's a very hard-hitting song, but it's unlike any other hard-hitting song for me, and that's why I really like it. And I could have easily put Flip a Coin in this as well, but I decided to go with this because this was the title track for that album, while Flip a Coin, did get a music video. It was not like the title track, and I kind of tried to focus only on title tracks for this video. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and I can't wait to hear more from Victon. They've been a group that has kind of jumped out of nowhere for me with their quality. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that group, and I can't wait to see and hear more of them. At number 10, I've actually placed a group that might surprise you in terms of their placement, because usually I place them higher than this. But anyway, at number 11 we have Stray Kids' Christmas Evil.
Jingle, jingle, jingle all the way. You got me spinning, bingle, 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 돌겠네. Think I'm with Christmas. 슬슬 불안타한 하루리 no presents crossing up expect.
It was hard deciding where to place Stray Kids with their releases this year, because Thunderous was an awesome song. It was super catchy, and I really, really enjoyed it. Christmas Evil as well was surprisingly amazing, because I did not expect for them to release this kind of like a hard-hitting and rap-heavy song for Christmas album. Like, when does that even happen? Like, how does that even happen? But as usual, they always manage to inject their chaotic and witty and quirky energy into any kind of song and make it the best thing ever. That's why I actually picked Christmas Evil over Thunderous, because while I like both songs, it's just a little bit more Christmas Evil is just a little bit more interesting to me, because I've never heard such a fun Christmas song. Usually when you do a Christmas song, it's either emotional or it's a ballad, or it's just a slower song in general. And they even released a slower song, a Christmas song with this. But this song is unlike anything I've ever heard. It's the peak so far of their wittiness and their chaoticness and everything about that makes Stray Kids. And Thunderous, again, it was a great song and it has all of the same qualities, but it just was not as shocking. It was not a standout, because I've heard plenty of hard-hitting and rough and edgy songs, especially from Stray Kids, but I've never heard a witty Christmas song like this that kind of shits on Christmas in a way. So I really enjoyed that about Christmas Evil. But the reason why Stray Kids actually didn't make it into the top 10 as they usually do is because I don't really think this year's releases were as mind-blowing or as much of a jump as prior years. That's kind of the reason why I kept them out of the top 10. And you might actually notice that with some other groups as well, but that is probably the most notable one. Because if you didn't know, Stray Kids are my favorite boy group, pretty much. So yeah, I think that speaks a lot. We're gonna have P1 Harmony's Scared.
눈앞에는 넌 갇혀 있어. No, no, no. Now you need to know. 누가 너를 원할지 신경 끄고 just go, go, go. 겁나니? Hey, 뭐가? Tell me what? 겁나니? 누가? Tell me what? 왜 자꾸 널 깎아내려? 됐어 그만해 stop it oh no. 뱉은 말을 해봐 tell me 너는 아직까지 또 겁나니?
This song, man, was so hard-hitting. And it's so different from their release as well. Like their debut release as well. Like I said earlier when I was talking about Gravity Is My Turn, that is what I expected maybe their first comeback to sound like. Like that's kind of what I thought that this song was going to sound like, but no, this song went in a completely different direction and completely changed my perception for this group, because before that they were still like hard hitting and rap heavy, but with this they kind of came off a little bit reminiscent of Stray Kids in their ability to experiment and do different styles to their music, yet still manage to appeal to me and still do hard-hitting music that I enjoy. So I can't wait to see what they're gonna do for their next release. But this song, man, is one of the most hard-hitting songs I've ever heard. In terms of the instrumental, in terms of the choreo, in terms of the rapping, and in terms of the music video as well, or the concept, should I say, for the music video as well, because it seems very hip-hop-ish. So I really like this song. It was probably the first song of the year that I was really blown away by, but again, don't quote me on that because I've reacted to a lot of songs this year and I don't really remember when each song was released, so yeah, I don't know. But I really like this song. At number 8, we're gonna have Cherry Bullet's Love So Sweet. Cherry Bullet has been on a rocky road since debut, if you ask me. Their debut song was okay, I liked it, but it wasn't anything crazy. And afterwards, it wasn't until they released Hands Up, which was a really creative and fun and entertaining song, that I really actually started to be interested into the group. And if I remember correctly, there might have been one more release between Love So Sweet and Hands Up, but again, I don't remember. But I did not expect Love So Sweet to be this entertaining. Because it's a cutesy song, and like I've said, cutesy songs don't really hit it as hard as for me as more edgy and darker and girl crush or boy crush kind of songs. But this one was still so creative and fun. Like, the music video is so creative with how it's kind of shot like a one shot, constantly moving forward and revealing more sets. It's kind of reminiscent of Twice's Heartshaker, I think it was. But I feel like it's done better in this one. And the song itself, the beat is so infectious. It's probably one of the best cutesy girl group songs that I've ever heard. It's so good. And this is different from what I said about Signature's Boyfriend, which is more of like a relationship song, or I don't know what to call it, but that one is a very different. That one wasn't so much cute as it was very just girl next door kind of vibe. Well, for this it's straight up like cute and bubblegum pop kind of thing. And it's one of the best songs ever for me. I really like it. I love how infectious it is and how it's constantly building up for the chorus. And the chorus is very loud and very cutesy, but still super damn catchy. I just really like this song. I really do. And I honestly almost forgot about this song when I was making the list for the songs of this year, because as good as it is, I just had completely forgotten about its existence, and I've been listening to this song for the last few days since I made the list for this video. But yeah, it's a really good song that it's, in my opinion, underrated. And the group as well is underrated. Like, Hands Up was an amazing song that I feel like not enough people knew about the existence of. And it might be the same for Love So Sweet, but I just haven't really checked out how many views it has to judge how popular it is. I'm just saying, check it out. It's really good. At number 7, we're gonna have an artist and a song which I contemplated a lot whether I wanted to add them to the list or not, because even though I somewhat like the song, it is a little bit annoying at times. But I'm gonna elaborate on that in a little bit. So the song that is gonna be at number 7 is gonna be NCT Dream's Hot Sauce. NCT Dream has straight up become my favorite NCT unit at this point. They seem to be the only NCT unit that has a style to them and feel like it has more of an identity, because even though it's kind of by design, NCT 127 and NCT U, which is like a unit for every single member, I feel like the fact that they're so interchangeable in both music style and members and everything, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like they have a coherent concept to their music. NCT Dream actually has. Like, that's kind of the only thing I can think of why I love this group so much. Maybe it's also because that they are the only fixed unit that hasn't changed their members. They haven't added new members. They only removed Mark, but now he is back in this song, which completely understandably is a really good song, even with Mark's addition. The fact that he was away from the group for a little bit definitely allowed the group to kind of improve, because before he left the group, I personally at least didn't really pay attention to any of the other members that much. In terms of the rappers, I didn't even know that Geno, I think that's his name, was a rapper. I kind of only knew that Mark was a rapper and maybe one of the other members might have thought about, but I didn't know that Geno was a rapper. And Mark being gone allowed him and is it Jisung or Jaemin? I keep confusing them, but one of them is a rapper, and I actually really grown to enjoy the rappers of NCT Dream outside of Mark. And in this song, he also works really well with them. It's a really good song. It has a really epic comeback feel to it, and I think that is the reason why NCT Dream is the most popular NCT unit, at least so I've been told. Because they just have the it factor that groups like BTS have. They just feel awesome, they just feel epic as a group, and I really, really like them. Although this song for me is definitely less good than Riding, because Riding was just such a mind-blowingly catchy and hard-hitting song. This one leans a little bit more into annoying. I feel like if that Inia Manana Mana Minia Manana part of the song wasn't there, or if the chorus wasn't in high-pitched screamed I don't know what to call it, talking or rap singing or whatever you want to call it, if it wasn't like that, the song would have been higher and maybe even like top 3 or number 1, I don't know. But it's not, and the way it is right now, it's a really good song that I've listened to a lot, but still not the best. But I really do like it, and it's definitely the best song NCT released this year, in my opinion. And at number 6, we're gonna have Weekly's After School.
우리 스케이트 보드 위로 마치 춤을 추듯 발을 굴러 바람 그 사이를 가로질러 여기저기 멀리 아주 멀리 저끝까지 I'm so good with you 나나와 catch up 두 눈을 맞추고 끝말이 날리고 Ready set go flip 자유로운 기분인가.
This song is a case that is kind of similar to Cherry Bullet's Love So Sweet, but also different in some ways. It's similar in the sense that it's, again, one of the best cutesy songs, or just a little bit more cute girl group songs, but it's also at the same time one of the most hard-hitting and catchy cute songs that I've ever heard. And it's honestly exactly what I should have expected from this group, because since debuted Weekly, even their first song was very much like this, hyperactive, rap heavy even, and catchy, and it was so entertaining. But I feel like they really hit their peak with this song, because even their follow-up songs, which feel very much in line with what this song was, didn't really manage to entertain me as much as this one. But this one was so catchy, it was so entertaining, and the message of the song or the lyrics were also really relatable, and I really, really enjoyed it. And one thing that I feel like not many people really talk about it, and again, if I'm remembering correctly, the music video, the outfits that the girls were wearing in the music video were not sexualized, were not overly tight. They were casual clothes that you could see anybody wearing. They were comfy and casual, and that is one thing that I've actually noticed that this group does constantly. Again, if I'm remembering the group correctly, their outfits are always comfy and not overly tight and sexualized. Which is, again, I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing for other groups to have more tight clothing or anything. I just really appreciate that this group stands out in that regard. But yeah, this song was just such an energy boost, and it's just such a awesome and catchy and happy-go-lucky song, and I really, really liked it. At number 5, we have another solo release, that being Yuki's Bonnie and Clyde.
We don't need money to feel good, 'cause you're the ride or die the rest of my life. Don't need a party to feel high. We're like the modern version Bonnie and Clyde.
This is straight up my favorite solo release of this year. It's so damn good. It's also done by obviously one of my favorite female singers slash rappers, like my favorite female idols in the K-pop industry. So of course I always expected it to be good, but like it's so damn good. Yuki's unique voice adds such a unique feeling to this song, and it sounds nothing like the rest of K-pop. This sounds more like American music, in my opinion. Not even like current American music, just sounds more American to me. And it's even in English, which makes it even better. Like, it's such a good song. And I love the energy it has. I love Yuki's sultry voice. Like, her voice is so unique and so soothing. And I love it. It sounds so good. And the reason why I picked this song over the other song, Giant, which I also really enjoyed that song. I've listened to these two songs so damn much, but the reason why Bonnie and Clyde won over the other one is definitely because of the energy this song has. Like I said earlier for the other solo releases in this list, I expect usually that solo songs are not gonna be quite as energetic or fast-paced as group songs. Whether that's a right assumption to have, I don't know, but that's what I assume pretty much always. So for a song to be so powerful when it's a solo song, it's rare for that to happen. It just is. At number 4, we're gonna have 80's Fireworks. I mean, you guys knew that I was gonna have 80's in this list. Come on, they're one of my favorite boy groups ever. But I gotta say, this year 80's has not been as strong as last year. Like, obviously, I liked Fireworks because I have put it in this list, but they've had 3 releases this year. Fireworks, Deja Vu, and the current one, the most recent one, Turbulence. And obviously, I guess also the Kingdom songs, but I also haven't reacted to that song yet. And out of these 3 songs, only Fireworks blew my mind, kind of. Like, there wasn't, similarly to what I said about Stray Kids, there wasn't that much of a jump in quality with their music this year. It wasn't as mind-blowing as it was last year. Because last year we had Inception, which was amazing. I actually don't remember all the releases of theirs for last year, but the point is, last year they had much more of a jump in quality that blew my mind than this year. But Fireworks is still one of my favorite fast-paced, hard-hitting rap-heavy songs. It was really, really good. It's so damn catchy. That is the biggest reason why it's here, because it's one of the catchiest, if not the catchiest, 80's song ever. But yeah, I liked Deja Vu, I liked Eternal Sunshine, and I liked Turbulence, but they just are not on the same level of quality. Like, for me, those songs are like an 8 out of 10, while this one is more of like a 9.5. So that's kind of why this song won over those. At number 3, we're gonna have ITZY's Loco.
넌 날 봤지 만들어. You got me like crazy love. 대체 네가 뭔데? 미쳐 날려 기분이 up and down. You got me like crazy love. 나도 내가 out of control. I'm getting loco. I'm getting loco.
I gotta say, this one was probably one of, if not the hardest one to decide which song by the group that released this year to put on this list, because both Loco and Mafia in the Morning were so damn good, but in different ways. Mafia in the Morning appeals to me personally more because it's hard hitting, it's rap heavy, it's edgy, and it's awesome. I love it. It's everything that I love listening to. And it's a song that I did not expect ITZY to do. Like I said when I did the reaction for that song, that one felt more like a song for Stray Kids. Like if that's something the Stray Kids released, I wouldn't have blinked even. It's par for the course with Stray Kids, but for ITZY, it came kind of out of nowhere, and I love it. Like I said, it's my favorite ITZY song, straight up. And I've listened, it's probably my most replayed ITZY song. On the other hand, the song that I put on this list, it's Loco, because I feel like it still appeals to me greatly, and I've listened to it a lot, and I mean a lot. But there's more to it than just my personal love for it that makes it really good. It has probably the best music video of ITZY's. It looks amazing, the scale of it is amazing, the coloring is amazing, the outfits in the music video are amazing, the choreo amazing, and the song itself just feels like it's an iconic song. It feels it feels like an iconic song. That's kind of where I'm gonna stop, because I don't really have many words to describe it with. It just feels iconic in a way that Mafia in the Morning doesn't. It feels like it's miles above any other song of theirs that I've listened to in terms of the quality. Like that, if Mafia in the Morning is like a 9 out of 10, Loco is like a 12. And it's just mind-blowingly good for ITZY. Not that their music before hasn't been good, I've loved their music, I love ITZY. They're probably top 2 or 3 girl groups for me. But this song was like a level up for them. Kind of like what Inception was for 80s last year. That is what Loco is for ITZY this year. Ironically though, the next song on this list at number 2 is a song called First by Everglow.
지나간 과거 너를 두렵게 해 But know your power 최후의 be first You know that I come first I'm the winner 그래 마지막 순간 너를 꽉 이 세상 어디도 빛은 없단 거짓에 속지는 말아줘 우리 함께 혼자 걷는 꿈을 꿀 거야 혼자 걷는 꿈을 꿀 거야
And I honestly didn't realize until right now how funny it would have been if the best song of this year was First, which it easily could have been, honestly. Like I said, this list of songs could have easily be reworked in different ways. This is just how I have decided that it is going to be at this moment. But it could have easily changed if I actually sat down and re-listened to all of these songs. But Everglow's First was so good. It was so mind-blowingly good. Like you thought until this point Everglow's music was catchy? Strap on, because this one is gonna take you to fucking space. And it was so damn good. It was hard-hitting, it was fast-paced, and everybody got to shine in this one as well. I think that's the thing that I love the most. Everybody got to shine. Everybody. And I really liked it. For this song though, in comparison to the last two songs, I don't really have that much of a hard time deciding between it and Pirate for which song was going to be on the list. Because as much as I like Pirate, and it's again another amazingly catchy Everglow song, it just didn't feel as mind-blowing as First, and it felt a little bit more of a grower compared to it. While First was just an instant mind blow. It was, similarly to a lot of the top 10 songs, next step in these groups' musical sounds. But yeah, it was so good. Like, if you guys want to hear more about my opinions on these songs, like a more fleshed out thoughts, definitely go and check out my reactions to these songs. But yeah, I love this one. It was really good. It was mind-blowingly good. And now, before we get into the number one song of this list, which maybe you guys have figured out which song is number one at this point, but before we get into it, I'm just going to share with you an actually pretty big list of honorable mentions, aka songs which just didn't manage to get into this list. And as I said, it's a pretty big list, because as I explained earlier, a lot of the songs that were released this year weren't as mind-blowingly good compared to each other as I would have liked them to be. So a lot of these songs are kind of like 8s and 9s out of 10. All of the songs, even the songs that are already on the list, ended up being like mostly 8s and 9s out of 10. So it was hard picking between which I'm gonna put on the list and which I'm not. So any of these songs that I'm gonna tell you about in a second could have been on this list. But anyway, let's go through them in no particular order. Wanna says No Diggity. The 1419's Asura Barbarta. Tribe's Would You Run. Onief's Goosebumps. Ayu's Celebrity. 777 Presente. Sorn Run. Checkmate You. Red Velvet Queendom. Astros 1. Purple Kiss Ponzana. BAE 173 Loved You. Mamamoo Dinga Twice. Scientist Somi XOXO Wekimeki Siesta. Any one of these songs could have been on this list easily. And maybe if I decided to make a longer list, I would have fit them in, but I didn't, so that's how it's gonna be right now. Essentially, you might as well just grab these songs in the list that I've told you about. I've mentioned them to you, and just put them after the 21 songs that I did talk about in this video, and that's kind of how I would rank them. But before we get into the number one spot, I want to explain to you guys why in some of the But before we get into the number one spot on this list, I want to explain to you guys why for some of these songs I've been dressed different and I look completely different. It's because I had to remake this video in parts. Because I originally even uploaded this video, I was done with the video like 3 or 4 days before New Year's, and uploaded it, and there was no issues whatsoever. I was just waiting to publish it on New Year's. But then on New Year's, I saw that the goddamn Hype Entertainment has blocked my video because of the number one spot on this list, which originally was TXT's Love Song. And I still like that song, but I'm done rating and maybe probably even reacting to groups that have anything to do with Hype Entertainment, because this is not the first time they've blocked my videos like this. And I'm not saying this is like a personally targeted attack or not, or anything. It's not. But it's still fucking bullshit the way Hype and Big Hit, or whatever you want to call them, deal with the copyright. Because every single other song on this list was not blocked. But then comes in fucking Hype Entertainment that decides to claim this specific song for no reason whatsoever, even though it's fair fucking use, and blocks my whole video. Because it's not. Because in the claims, it doesn't even say the song that is being claimed. Because at number one, I used to have TXT's Love Song, but it doesn't even say that in the claim. It says 2022 Weavers Con 2 or whatever. So it's not even the song. Why the fuck have they claimed it? I don't know. And it's not even that they've claimed it that is bothering me. That they've blocked the video. As if I'm gonna be pirating and giving the people the ability to freely watch Weavers Con or whatever. That is some fucking retarded bullshit. And I've, for the first time, disputed the video because this is complete and utter bullshit. Because every single other song in this list was not blocked. They were claimed, which is par for the course for K-pop reactions and adding K-pop songs in videos, but they weren't blocked. And it's not even that this is the one time that it has happened that has pissed me off so much. For me, it has been a constant occurrence. There's been dozens of times at this point that my reaction videos have been blocked by Hype Entertainment. I'm just done. If they're gonna be so pissy about copyright, then I'm not gonna be talking about their fucking groups and their music videos. Because they blocked and still refused to allow me to post my reaction to BTS's Map of the Soul 7. So fuck them for that. And now they blocked this video, which I worked on so hard. Well, fuck them. I've even removed another song of this list that had a Hype artist on it, that being Hyping with their song Drunken Days. They were at number 8, but now they're not because of fucking Hype. And fuck them. I'm done dealing with them. I'm probably not gonna even react to Hype groups at this point in the future, which includes 17 and Promise 9, but we'll see about that in the future. I don't want to say definitive statements regarding that, but I'm just so goddamn mad. Fuck Hype and fuck their stupid copyright bullshit. But now we're gonna get into the number 1 song of this video, Dreamcatcher's Odd Eye.
숨은 비밀을 봐 오달 더 깊이 빠져들어봐봐 다갈 듯한 거짓말 달콤함이 가려져 경기를 넘는 눈과 끝까지 맞서려는 절망 끝이 있지 않을까 First 여긴 작동빛이 아닌 걸 너무 utopia.
And again, with this group, just like with ITZY, it was really hard deciding which song to put on this list. But in difference to the case with ITZY, this time I picked the song that was a little bit more appealing to me personally. Not only because it was more appealing to me personally, but because I feel it just feels more perfect and more polished a little bit more compared to their other release, which was also a really good song and I really enjoyed it. But Odd Eye is just so good. It's their most hard-hitting, most in-your-face, most powerful and most catchy song ever. Like, until this point, my favorite song of Dreamcatchers was What, because of how hard-hitting it is, and it's still definitely up there, and my opinion on which one is my favorite could change anytime. But Odd Eye just blew my fucking mind with how good it was. And even the visuals of the music video, it's so colorful and it's so aesthetically pleasing. I love it. It was such a good comeback. And again, not to overlook, because I really like that song as well. And debatably, it's better because for Odd Eye, the best part of the song is kind of contained in the chorus because of how hard-hitting it is, while with Because, the quality is a little bit more interspread throughout the song. So in a way, it's more entertaining. For the song as a whole is more entertaining than Odd Eye. But for me, like I said, the reason why Odd Eye wins is just because it's much more hard-hitting than Because, and also because with Because, I had actually heard the teaser, I guess, of that song, with the instrumental going da 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 da. So I didn't really expect the song to go anywhere. Like I said earlier, whenever I hear a teaser or whatever for a song, the teasers usually tend to include the best parts of the song. So if I hear that, then I'm a little underwhelmed by the release later on. And that was kind of the case for this song. So my experiences with it is kind of also the reason why Odd Eye won over it. But both songs are basically the same for me in a way. So it could have been either one of them easily. But I am curious to hear and read what are your guys' top songs of this year. Comment down below, let's have a discussion about it. I'll really be interested to see what you guys picked for this year's songs. Even if it's completely different from my songs, maybe I'll find some songs that I've overlooked that were actually really good. but I just didn't know. But yeah, before we end this video, I guess I want to give a huge shout out to my currently 3 patrons on Patreon: Omar Bridgman, Deadpool, and Sarah. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me monetarily, and I hope you continue to do it for a long time. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like right now, I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things, like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way, and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything. And that just kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact, it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job, because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think this is pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you next year. Bye!